excited you are about the session that we're having today. And I'm just going to look on the right side of the screen and I'm just going to see how active you are. Let's see, UK, Brazil, Netherlands, Texas. That's good. That is amazing. We already hit 1.1K. Canada, Singapore. Excited you are about the session that we're having today. And I'm just going to look on the right side of the screen and I'm just going to see how active you are. Let's see. Sorry for this. It looks like it was a background sound. Good. Greece, Canada. That is amazing. Good. So today we will be diving into the Holobody topics, and by the end of this live webinar, you will gain amazing tools to transform peak fitness and well-being into a new normal. Why? Because you will learn how to generate permanent body changes at will for yourself or others as a certified Mindvalley Holobody coach. So please stay tuned here with us until the end of this session because we have some exciting information and also news for you. So this being said, there are no other persons better than Ajit, Vishen, and Ronan to take you on this journey to gain total freedom from yo-yo diets and unsustainable exercise plans. So my friends, you are exactly in the right place. And maybe you might be asking yourselves, why am I saying this? Because these guys over here have a goal to impact 1 billion people and transform the world. So after years of work, they have put together one of the most comprehensive, advanced, and integrated approaches to be able to create amazing and profound transformations for your clients' lives, as well as your own. And during this session, you will discover why is the concept of health coaching broken, the Holobody pillars, and how Mindvalley can help you grow a successful coaching business. So in just a couple of seconds, quick logistics. Number one, be prepared to take notes. Number two, submit questions in the Q&A box. And you can also upvote, and we're more than happy to address them. And number three, dedicate time and focus and play full out. And if this sounds good, I want to see a yes in the chat. I want to see it rolling here on the right side of the screen. Okay, good. So this being said, I'm very happy to bring up on stage a person that definitely leads by example in the most incredible ways and impacting millions of people worldwide. So Vishen, welcome on stage.
Thank you, Bianca. So firstly, guys, thank you for showing up for this presentation on Mindvalley's Holobody certification. So we're going to cover a couple of things over here. And I first want to let you know that Bianca here, who just welcomed you on board, she's one of our certified Holobody coaches. The people who participate in Holobody certification are truly exceptional people. We just had about 600 Mindvalley coaches here in Tallinn, Estonia, literally about one kilometer or so outside my window for our Super Coach Festival just 4 weeks back. And it's sort of a celebration where all our coaches come together to connect in community. So we're building a community of transformative coaches all around the world. Bianca is actually one of them. She is a certified Holobody coach. She's also the 11-time world karate champion for women. And she uses her Holobody certification and a karate background to help women completely sculpt their bodies to have their dream body, sort of like Amazonian warrior type bodies. So thank you, Bianca, for being a part of this program, as well as for welcoming us on board. Now, how did Holobody start? So as you know, sometime around 2016, I decided to move Mindvalley deep into the concept of health. And the reason I did that is because my health was miserable, absolutely miserable. I turned 40 and I woke up one day, looked at myself in the mirror. It was my 40th birthday. So it was 2016, January 14. I woke up, looked in the mirror, and I realized that I had failed all of the goals I'd set for myself to hit health-wise when it came to 40. Now, don't get me wrong. I was eating right. To me, eating right was eating vegetables, cutting back on rice, having a balanced diet. I was working out. To me, working out was going to the gym twice a week. I even had a fitness instructor. But still, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I realized that I was so far short of all of my goals. Now, what I didn't realize back then is that what I thought was right was actually induced by society. And if you look at how society looks at health based on everything you see in late night infomercials on American television, everything you read on diet books and airport bookstores, to be healthy, you got to do two things. You got to exercise a lot, or you got to get on a diet. But that is actually not health. That is marketing. And both are are non-essential to health. Yes, I'm actually saying it. You do not need to exercise. Do you think early man went jogging? Do you think during the time of Alexander the Great, the Greek warriors had gyms or ran long distance? Do you think they had Nike shoes? Do you think people back then worried about getting on keto diets or vegan diets? I'm not saying any of these things are wrong. All I'm saying is they give you a tiny slice of what it is to be healthy. And so because of my experience in Mindvalley, I had access to all of these great minds. So I went on a period of discovery. And I want to show you what happened, okay? So I went in a period of discovery and I started assembling a team to transform my health. It wasn't about the Mindvalley customer. I needed to fix my health first. And I want to share this little picture that maybe some of you have seen because we shared it in an email, but I want to share this picture. This was July 2015. This was when I begun my journey. This was about 6 months before my 40th birthday. And that is what I looked like back then. This was a retreat I'd gone to with two of my friends who were in their 50s. Now, since that day, you can see how much my health has transformed, how much my face, my hair, I've gotten a lot less chubby. I lost a lot of body fat. My body became a lot leaner. I completely transformed. And if you Google pictures of me, you'll see that the further back you go, I actually look older. So I look older 5 years ago than I do today. Part of this is because as I got really deep into health, I started seeing massive shifts in myself. And that is also when I started bringing a lot of these practices into Mindvalley. But I made myself the first guinea pig. These are some of the men that I started working with. This word CLO means Chief Life Officer. So I hire people to be just like I have employees building my business, I have these remarkable people building my life, building my health. So this transformation came through very deliberate intent, but it is not a transformation that is hard for any of you to do if you have the right tools. So what you're going to learn here is how to transform your health. You're going to learn exactly what to look at when it comes to exercise, what to look at when it comes to diet. When it comes to diet, firstly, only 1% of diets actually work, right? The average American will be on 5 diets a year. Diets are not the answer. Diets are basically a broken product, but it has to stay broken because the more broken a diet is, the more you go back to it, the more money you spend, bouncing from diet to diet. Statistically, only 1% of dieters actually see results. The other 99% waste their time and bounce back. So I started going and identifying the things that could help me. In 2016, it was WildFit. WildFit is not a diet. It is a way of conditioning the brain to only desire the food that's going to be nutritious for your body. It's a way of mastering your body and training your metabolic efficiency so you burn fat and don't crave sugar. And then in 2017, I started going into 10X. My team developed this workout methodology that produces incredible results in just a few minutes a week. 10X was really important to me, but this time it was for a different reason. My father had turned 70, and the doctors told him, Mr. Mohan, that's his name, you have about 5 years left because your body is in such a bad state. That same month, I put him on 10X. We'd been pioneering the system for about 6 months. My dad was 70 years old, and working with this 10X methodology, he was able to increase his strength by between 68 and 69% in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Okay, so you can imagine he couldn't walk up the stairs. His bedroom was upstairs. He sometimes had to sleep in the lower guest room just to avoid walking up the stairs. With a 68 to 69% strength increase, what that meant is he could do the stairs again. His leg press went from being able to leg press 80 kilograms to 140 kilograms 3 times. That is freaking huge for a man his age. Today, my dad is 73 and I can go hiking with him. Now, over time, all of these methodologies started coming together, and then the missing piece came because both of these, WildFit and 10X, they were still looking at mainly food, what you put in your body, and high intensity interval training, which is the ultimate form of exercise. There's a lot of exercise out there that's useless. And please, late night infomercials and the exercise equipment they sell you rarely ever works. There are a few that are effective, but most do not work. Okay, so the big picture, however, is that health is not just those 2 pillars. Health is much broader. And that is what you're about to learn here. Many of you may have just witnessed this, but I was interviewing Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate. His new book is out, and his new book is called The Myth of Normal. And the myth of normal, Dr. Gabor Mate talks about how what we are told about our health, what we are told is normal, is actually BS. What we consider normal in the Western world is actually way below what it should be. We are sicker than ever. People are aging faster. Sperm count is going down. We are more stressed out than ever. We are hiding trauma. And what he says is, all of this true health is coming from the healing of trauma and the facilitation of the mind, and then our community connection with each other. And there's more and more evidence for this. So we get focused on exercise because, yes, Nike needs to sell running shoes. We get focused on diet because, yes, Weight Watchers is $1 billion empire. But true health is much larger. And what you're going to see here is a map of true health. And that's what we call Holobody. So thousands of people right now are becoming Holobody certified coaches because it's easy to find a fitness coach. It's easy to find a nutrition guide. But true health is way beyond. And that's what Holobody covers. And if you learn Holobody, what you need to know about nutrition, what you need to know about fitness is also covered. Of course, if you want to go deeper, you might do WildFit or 10X, but Holobody gives you a powerful map to transforming your health and the health of others. So thousands of people signed up to become a Holobody coach, and 60% of those people did it not because they necessarily want to earn money coaching others, but because they wanted their body to go through the transformation that I went through from 40 to 47. And they also did it because they want to transform their families, just like I transformed my father. So the chief architect of Holobody is Ronan Diego. He is the brilliant health and wellness director of Mindvalley. And he put this together. And when I saw this, it blew me away. You're going to see how health is so much bigger. It covers your gut microbiome. It covers your thoughts. It covers your habits, your rituals, your character, personality traits. It covers your connection with other human beings. You're also going to learn how Holobody brings in elements from the Silva method to talk about how your mind can influence your body and how you can heal yourself using a concept called imagery therapy. So without further ado, let's bring on Ronan Diego, a man who has helped me transform my health and the Chief Health and Wellness Director of Mindvalley. Ronan, all you.
Thank you, Vishen. Thank you very much for the introduction. And thank you for all the, let's say, 1,600 people from the Mindvalley community that is giving us the honor to be here and talk about something that to us is of the ultimate importance. It is a pleasure and an honor to be with you. And I will continue from where Vishen just left on that. When we talk about health and health coaching and health transformation today, we are stuck in this paradigm that, as Vishen said, is not much health, but it's more marketing. And the reason why this thing doesn't work is because we are led to believe that transforming our bodies take the first priority over any other area of our lives. But whenever I'm working with somebody, my question is always to put this thing into perspective. So right now you're trying to transform your body. Is this journey transforming your life to the better as well? Have you noticed that this may not be necessarily true? That your journey to transform your body can drive the rest of your relationship down, your career to misery because you're overwhelmed and stressed and over-exercised, and your social connections disappeared because you're obsessed with something. If you ever experienced a process of health transformation that made other areas of your life pay for that, put yes in the chat. I want to see how many people also, just like me, went through this journey of health and fitness and realized that there was something off there. Life was not getting better. I see Nikki and Fiona and Shruti and Danielle, and there's some people who also joined this path, not unbeknownst to them. And the interesting thing here is that transformation from in your body can lead to positive effects if it's done right. So this is a study that was done in 2005. It was finished in 2005 from the Ohio State University. It's in your screen right now. What they did is they followed 7,300 people over 15 years. And they realized that people who moved their body weights towards their ideal body weight, so underweight people who gained weight or overweight people who lost weight, their net worth, the amount of money that they earn, raised much above the baseline. And people who were in their ideal body weight for over 15 years, they drifted, either gained weight or lost weight, and they were away from their ideal. They lost wealth. So with health comes wealth, and that was very interesting. The data here was so much that people who gained 6.6 pounds or 3 kilos, they lost 8% of their net worth over the course of these 15 years. And just so you know, 10% of your net worth is what you allocate for a car usually. So people who gained 4 kilos in 15 years, they lost the equivalent of a car that they could own. But the opposite was also very interesting. People who lost weight, were in a state of obesity and went to their ideal weight, their net worth went beyond double. People who lost 40 pounds or 18 kilos, their net worth raised by 136%. That's more than double. And so that's interesting. What is happening here? What is the correlation between your body weight and your net worth? And there are many theories behind that, but there are a couple of things that I believe in. One of the things that I want to ask you, has anybody gone through a transformation that they lost more or less 40 pounds? If you have experienced that, put 40 on the chat. The number 40. I want to just have a sense if anybody here that is aligned. Yes, 40, I lost 65, and somebody 100 pounds. Somebody here, Mike just told us the truth. He made a comment saying self-image. That hits the mystery right in the bullseye. Whenever you go through a body transformation that is permanent. This study followed people for 15 years. People who gained weight and lost weight and came back to their initial state during the 15 years, nothing happened. They only raised their net worth if they lost weight and stayed there, because then their self-image, who they believe themselves to be, changed. And once your self-image changes, then you go, aha, now I can transform other areas of my life. The people who here lost 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, you probably have seen that after you lost this amount of weight, other areas of your life started to evolve as well. Because once you transform something bold, you go for the next things. The thing that is broken in this whole idea of health and transformation, whenever this does not work, is when we're not talking about transformation, this permanent transition, is when we are under the illusion that we are transforming our bodies through whatever we get from the marketing ideas, but we end in a process of conformation. Conformation is not a permanent process, it's temporary. It's you pressing your body to become something that is not. You're trying to force the body, manipulating your diet and your exercise weight with too much pressure up until you cannot keep up anymore. After 1 year, poof, you go back to where you started. This comes from unreasonable marketing expectations. Today, if you open Instagram, guys, this is what you see. Go open Instagram, go on search and put hashtag health or hashtag fitness inspiration or Fitspo. This is what you see. This is what you're on the screen right now. You know, you see a lot of display of aesthetics. You see, and they all follow the same pattern. And what I want to tell you, there's nothing wrong with aesthetics. There's nothing wrong with a body that is shaped in an artistic way. But that's not health and that's not fitness. And so if this is what we believe health and fitness to be, there is a comparison. There's an automatic comparison. You open your Instagram, you see that your body is not like that. Therefore, you're not healthy. Therefore, you need to exercise more or you need to diet more until you get there. And you realize that a lot of us never get there because a lot of us don't have the body designed to be an Instagram artistic bodybuilder influencer. And they also don't. This is a non-natural state for the body. This is a temporary state that takes a whole full-time job to get there. And so we believe that this is health, this is what health is, and try to manipulate, exercise more, and diet more in the hopes that the body gets that way. That's conformation. You're pressing the body, putting pressure on your body. So you maybe try to squeeze it so it becomes something that is not. But once you cannot keep up with that anymore because your body breaks down or because you can't even achieve that, your body, poof, goes back to the initial state, but now with a broken metabolism. What transformation, the process of transformation is much more like what you see in nature. I will tell you a process of transformation. You plant a seed of an apple tree. You give water and you give sunlight, and then you wait. And nature takes charge of the process until it becomes a fully fleshed apple tree and gives you apples. You are not doing the process yourself. You are not building a trunk, gluing the branches, gluing and painting the fruit. You're just giving the seed what it needs: soil and water and sun, and nature takes the process. Your body has the same blueprint to transform. One day, when before you were in the womb of your mother, your body was the size of a peanut. And now it's a fully fleshed human being. There's a blueprint there that transforms, that takes your body into the process. Nature can take the charge. If you're not trying to manipulate the exercise and the nutrition too much, but rather figuring out, so if the seed needs soil, water, and sun, what is the equivalent to my body? What is this soil, water, and sun to my body? Instead of manipulating it, what if I allow nature to take charge and transform my body into its fullest expression form of power? What does it look like? Well, we have a couple of answers today with modern science. This is a chart that comes from the University of Leeds. The scientists there were realizing that a lot of people were exercising, a lot of people were dieting, and still their health were not getting better. Still, they're not, especially losing weight, especially when people are trying to fight obesity. So they were thinking, what are the things that actually define obesity? What are the variables that change your body, that shape your body, either to be lean or to be overweight? And they realized that exercise and diet was just a few of them. I want you to take a look at this image. You can't read that, and that is fine. My intention is not for you to read this. I just wanted to see how many colorful squares you have there. You don't need to count, but you can see, you can appreciate that there are many, and they're all interrelated. Each one of these squares is a variable that influences the state, the health state of your body. Now, see this bright orange square right in the center, a little bit to the right. That square represents all the exercises and all the workouts that you ever done, you ever do. Only that little orange square. That bright purple square on the left, it represents all your efforts in diets. All the paleo and vegan and the keto and the carnivore and the low carb and the high carb and all this kind of, they are all only there. Now I want you to pay attention to how many squares are there left. These are all the other things that are defining the health of your body that we don't address in a traditional health coaching or health and fitness program. If you cluster those things into themes, this is what you see. You know, it goes beyond exercise and nutrition. That is social psychology, that is individual psychology. You know, Vishen was just mentioning an interview with Gabor Mate that talks about, you know, the idea of when you heal traumas, your body is allowed to be in a different state because your central nervous system changes and allows your body to express physically in a different way. That is your environment. How much of your physical environment, external environment, and your social environment, the people around you, define how your body is. In fact, there's data showing that if you have a fast food chain close to your, in a radius of 5 kilometers to your house, like something like McDonald's, your waistline goes high by 1/2 centimeter. And the closer you live to that, the higher your waistline goes, even if you never eat there. So why does that happen? Maybe because you hang out with other people in that region that go there. And they have other health habits that reflect that type of lifestyle, and you hang out with them, and indirectly, you have some habits that are being deflected by the presence of a fast food chain close to your house. So what do you do about this? You work with the other variables, food production, individual physiology, your own gut microbiome. So these are things that if we list them down, this is what this looks like. If you list them down, okay, so what are the soil, water, and sun for my body? What are all the things that I have to take into consideration? This slide shows all these points. Each one of these bullet points cover all the things that we need to work on to really transform and not conform the body. And you say, yeah, but that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it is, but this is a puzzle, and that's why we have been working with this puzzle to see how do we make this into a way that everybody can execute and transform their bodies. And if you bring all these bullet points together, you can create 5 different pillars. You can group them under 5 different pillars and make a model that you can execute, that you can transform into easy steps in lifestyles. And these 5 pillars that we call the 5 Holobody pillars are identity shift, body harmony, automatic behaviors, mental power, and external environment. I'm going to go quickly over each one of them to give you an idea of something that can be done there so that you can start letting nature take charge of your body transformation. Let's start with identity shift. This is one of the reasons why this is important. You know, a lot of people talk about the changes that they want to do in diet. And I worked with a client that was called Maya. And Maya was a lady that knew they were trying her best to give up dairy because she had lactose intolerance. She had lactose intolerance, but still knew that if she ate lactose, she would sometimes vomit or have diarrhea, sometimes go to the hospital. Still, she could not give up. If anyone has a food sensitivity that it's there, but still you can't give up, doesn't matter how much discipline you put it, say yes in the chat. I just want to know how many people go through the same effect, because it's very disheartening. You think that you have a problem. Yeah, you can see how many yeses here. We are conscious of those things that we should not do, yet we witness ourselves doing it. And so the problem or the issue to address here is not to try to give up dairy. She knew that already. But why is it that it's not working? And so what we did is an exercise called the body relationship journey. And we go back into her history and see her relationship with her body throughout years. And we found out that when she was very young, she had a episode of abuse. And it was a very traumatic episode of sexual abuse when she was a kid. That fortunately for her, when that happened, her family and friends were there to support her. And now she talks about this openly, something that is healed from her past already. But because she was very, very young, there was an unconscious pattern that was installed in her mind and she didn't know. And the unconscious pattern was, when I have a problem, I received love and support from others. And so she had unconsciously that fear that maybe if I don't have problems, if I'm super healthy and vital, will people keep on showing up for me? And so even without her knowing, her pattern of every now and then when she was feeling good, losing weight, go back to dairy and then feel bad, gain weight and go to the hospital was an unconscious dysfunctional pattern that was trying to protect her, to make sure that she had problems so other people could come and support her. But you see, this is not a belief that we choose, and it's a belief that we can reprogram. And once you get aware of this and shift the identity, then you can shift the behavior on top. Once you realize that, hey, it was because I was a little kid and that was my defense mechanism. Now I am not a defenseless kid anymore. Now I'm a beautiful, strong woman. I can let go of the pattern and reprogram my identity to something like self-hypnosis or neuro-linguistic programming. Then giving up dairy was effortless, because she dealt with the dysfunctional pattern, with the belief that was behind this. So here is an exercise that you can try at some point. You can go over your timeline. Think of when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, during puberty as an adult, and think about moments that were positively charged with emotions between you and your body, when you felt proud and happy of your body. And think about moments that you felt frustrated and ashamed of your body, and plot them over a horizontal line. When you tell yourself that story, what happened between you and your body, this relationship, you start realizing that there may be a dysfunctional pattern. You know, for Maya, it is every time that I'm feeling a little bit better, I drift and I eat the things that make me feel bad. That's this. I cannot stop that. But then you need to go to step 2 and understand the fear that is behind this. The fear for her is that if I don't have problems, maybe people will not be showing up to me. It's an illusion, but it is the unconscious fear that is there. And once you become aware of this, then you can work on identity shift. And this is one process that we train you in Holobody, how to do this for yourself, how to go through this process of identity shift, to identify this belief and reprogram, and how to facilitate this for others. So then your habits start to change naturally, because you change your self-image, as Mike said earlier. So now let's go to number 2. Number 2 pillar is called body harmony. And body harmony has to do about doing the things that your body needs and your body wants. You know, when we are focusing only on nutrition and exercise, you're thinking what you want. You know, there's an unmet need. Maybe you don't feel as beautiful. Maybe you don't feel as confident, or maybe you don't feel as strong. Now you look at the body and say, give me that. So you start over-exercising, you know, under-eating and doing all those manipulations to ask your body, this is what I want, give that to me. But if that's the process of confirmation, the process of transformation is a bit more like listening to the body, asking the body, developing techniques that you can actually ask the body, what is it that you want? What is it that you need? And give the body that. Now, if it is an apple tree, I will expect apples, and I'll give water and sun in a fertile soil. And so to me, there's this distinction that I learned at some point, that there are different ways, different types of bodies. And the way that they develop is in a completely different way. The way that they fully express their power is in a different way. And body harmony is about fully express what your body wants to become. And so just like you have cars, sometimes you have a sports car that is really good for a highway, but if you put it in the off-road, it struggles, because in the off-road you have trucks that they thrive there, but they cannot compete with a race car on a highway. So if your body is a speed car, is a race car, or if your body is a truck body, wants to identify that and give the right foods, the right exercise, the right morning routines and sleep patterns that your body needs. So this, to me, for example, is a screenshot of my Evernote journal back in the day when I had my body goals. And here is me thinking of the traditional health and fitness goal setting. You go on Instagram, you look at a body that you think that's what I want, And then you set goals for that. How many times I need to train? What are the types of food that I need to have? How many years I need to do that? My whole goal was to reach 77 kilos, 9% body fat. That's the magical number for men. And so I started from this stage. This was me when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. So this is when I started that. And to me, because my body, you can see from my body is not designed to be exactly like the image on the left. So I needed to put an amount of time that was like a full-time job or more than a full-time job to push my body to get into that state. But then I needed to push too much and I could not keep up with a routine. Sometimes I would travel for work and I would let go of my routine and take, 3 steps back. I would gain weight because I couldn't keep up with the restricted diet, or I would lose muscle because I couldn't keep up with the training 3 times, 2-3 times in a day when I was traveling. So I would come back home and say, man, I took three steps back. Okay, now let's just take another 3 months. I will focus on getting, 9% body fat, 77 kilos. And after this, I will have time to do other things, enjoy my friends, do more work. But right now, I'll put all my time into that. Then at some point, I will travel again, take 3 steps back, and that cycle would repeat. A few years ago, that after a cycle of that, I said, okay, now it's going to happen. I've been trying this for too long. I will reach those 9% body fat in 77 kilos. And I finally got there. But I got there as a temporary state. It was not something that I could reach, that I could remain there, because it's not where my body is designed to be. Once I let that go, in 1 week, it reversed to a state that was completely different. And I was there, man, I need to be able to maintain that. So then I can focus on my work. Then I can, spend time with my friends. But right now, I just want to get to that state. I went back to my Evernote journal and I realized that the very first time that I wrote that had been more or less 5 years earlier. So for 5 years, I was stuck in a loop of, let me just get to this state, and then I will use the time to focus on work or spend more time with my family and friends. That tells you that if you're trying for 5 years with all your might and things are not getting there, maybe your body, maybe you are trying to, you have a truck and you are trying to make it perform like a race car. Maybe if you have a truck and you put it on where the truck thrives, you're going to have a process of less resistance. And so, when I started listening to my body and developing these skills and asking, what my body wants to, how it wants to eat, how it wants to move, I started realizing that it had other gifts that were not exactly how the picture on the left. The very first time I did a DNA test, for example, I identified that my body has lower blood sugar control, highest taste sensitivity. So in other words, it's very hard for me to push the body to burn fat, and it really loves to eat. Very hard to thrive in a sport like bodybuilding that is based on how much hunger you can endure. It has low appetite control. That it's a body that needs a very big sized meal to remain sane. Low lactate clearance. You cannot get rid of the burn when I'm exercising with that amount of exercise for bodybuilding. And it has IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It cannot eat all the foods that fuel that type of training. No wonder while I was struggling for 5 years and never getting there. On the other hand, my body is also, the positive things here, is a professional sleeper. I get 4 hours of deep sleep every night when most people get half an hour. It can recover from a lot of endurance-based training. It has medium strength, but high endurance. I can keep doing things without end. I don't get tired. It has a very adaptable central nervous system where everybody is freaking out. I'm calm, I'm fine. I can endure a lot of pain, a lot of cold, a lot of heat, and don't even feel off my balance. So I can go through something that is painful, and it has high fatigue resistance. So you can exercise without an end and without feeling tired. So whenever I tried Spartan race for the first time? Has anybody tried a Spartan race? If so, say yes in the chat. I want to know how many people have gone through that experience. It's 21 kilometers in the middle of a forest, and you do a lot of obstacles. You climb ropes and you push boulders over a over a hill, and you carry crawl under the barbed wire. A lot of people have done a lot of this. The first time I did that, I won the first place out of 11,000 people, and I was running in a freaking jeans short. So you can see that my body had an advantage for that. Yeah, you can see from, after I started listening to my body and putting my body in types of sports that it really thrives, or in type of diet that it really thrives, I was experiencing its full power. And it looks very different. You can see it on the left here is the day that I won a Spartan race. The first time that I ran. Very different than the goal that I had on the right. Is because my body is a truck, and when it is on an off-road, it is in its best shape. If I put my truck in a race court, I'll need to struggle and never get there. So here the body harmony point is finding the type of things that work for your body. This is the picture of top 1 Olympic athletes in the world. It's a book called Athlete by Howard Schultz. He took pictures of the top 1 Olympic athletes in the world. I want you to see the difference and the variety in their bodies. These are bodies that were fed and trained, and they were listened to. They were not told what to become. The person who was guiding this body was thinking, what do you want? What are you better at? What do you respond better to? I'll give you more of that. And see your ultimate expression of power. And they become the best in the world on what they do. So body harmony includes all your exercise, all your diet, all your sleep, all your different daily and evening routines based on understanding, listening, to developing the skill of identifying what your body needs. Let's go to the third pillar. Now a little bit more quickly, because we covered big chunks now in the first two. Automatic behaviors. A lot of people say, your results are 70% diet, 30% training, or 80% diet and 20% training. I don't agree with these things anymore. Because diet is all about food. Training is all about the exercise. If you cannot keep that up into a routine, if you cannot bring that to your lifestyle, they mean zero. If it is, even if it's the most perfect diet in the world, but it cannot make it take action consistently, cannot bring behaviors around it, it means zero. It doesn't mean 80%. So automatic behaviors, making what works work for you. Here's the secret. So instead of going into the theory of how to build automatic behaviors, I want to mention one that to me is one of the king of the behaviors, and that's about walking. To me, this is something that the fitness industry doesn't really teach us. Walking first and working out second. Working out is important. One of my programs is 10X. It's about people developing strength and muscle mass. That is fundamental. But the body is supposed to be moving. Walking is a primary function of the body. It's just like the engine of your car. When you turn on the engine, now the light work, the radio work, the AC work. If you turn off the engine, all these things also turn off. Walking is for the body what the engine is for the car. When you are walking, all the other systems of your body are now working better. Your brain, your lungs, your heart, your blood flow, your lymphatic function, everything turns on. If you sit down, if you stay too much time inactive, all these other systems also, they start to turn down. So here's one study from the University of Texas. They got a group of people to sit for a long time throughout the day, around 13 and a half hours. If you think that's too much, for somebody who has a desk job of 8 hours, then they drive home, they drive to the office, they sit while they have a meal, and they sit to chill at home to watch TV. That's very normal and average for someone who has a desk job. So they got these people, made them sit for a whole day, and then they gave them a very hardcore cardio workout at night. There was another group that only sat and did no workout whatsoever. They just sat through the day, and during the evening, they just did nothing. On the next day, the next morning, they measured the metabolism of both groups. They gave them what's called a metabolic challenging meal. So it's a meal full of fats and full of sugar to see if your metabolism is good enough to deal with that in a good way. And they realized that both groups had the same impaired metabolism to digest that meal. In other words, the 1 hour hardcore workout of the previous night did nothing, metabolically speaking, for the people who sat for a whole day. Nothing, no effect in their metabolism. And the scientists even wrote in the study, in people who are physically inactive and sitting for the majority of the day, in 1 hour bout of vigorous exercise failed to improve lipid, glucose, and insulin metabolism measured in the next day. It seems that something inherent to the activity or inactivity or prolonged sitting makes the body resistant to the 1 hour exercise, preventing the normally derived metabolic improvements following exercise. So in other words, if your body is not moving for the whole day, and then in the end of the day, you do a hard workout, as most of people do, you're not getting almost nothing of the metabolic benefits of that workout because the body is not moving throughout the day. So here's when walking makes the difference. You know, there are different highlights. When you walk throughout the day, when you're active, your learning speed goes up by 20%. People who take more than 7,000 steps per day, they have 50% less chances of having clinical depression. It decreases cardiovascular diseases chances for extra 2,000 steps that you take on a day. It controls your blood sugar with a 10-minute walk after a meal. And people who walk normally 7,000 to 9,000 steps in a day, they decrease their waistline by 10 centimeters, and that's a significant change. Now, the idea here is not to say, I'm going to walk 10,000 steps tomorrow and start tomorrow. It's a automatic behavior. You want to get that idea of walking, make that so small and so easy that it feels ridiculous to you. So my goal here is not to walk 10,000 steps tomorrow. My goal is to maybe tie my left and my right shoe, go out the door and come back. Something that feels ridiculous. That is the theory, the science behind zero resistance habits. You get a behavior that is high impact and you ridiculously scale it down. And then you execute that until you're successful. Once you're successful, you say, now I'll tie my left and right shoes. I'll get off the door and I'll walk for 10 seconds. I'll walk for 1 minute all the way to the corner of the street and I'll come back. That's the second level of the habit. Once you're successful with that, you say, now I'll walk for 3 minutes. And then you start scaling it up. And this is when you see that you start to develop automatic behaviors. People who do this, they don't need to force themselves to exercise the things that they don't want, to eat the things they don't want, to go to bed in times that they don't want, because these behaviors, they bypass resistance. And you anchor this to a specific trigger that already exists, and you make a bulletproof plan to change your behavior. There's a whole 11-step process that we teach you in Holobody on how to transform any goal into a zero resistance habit. Now, mental power. There are two different subdivisions into mental power. One of them is about mindfulness and discipline, and the other is about mind over body. Mind over body, something that Vishen teaches you in Holobody. It's about how you use the power of your mind, tools like creative visualization or imagery therapy, and envisioning the health of your body, or self-hypnosis, as to drive physiological patterns that actually change your body in a physical way. No, this is something that Vishen has used extensively, for example, to heal his own eyesight. to heal his own skin. And there's a whole system called the Silva Ultra Mind system that is used today by athletes to improve their performance. And this is something that you learn also during Holobody. The other sub area of mental power is how you use a discipline, for example, in mindfulness, as to develop let body take the turn to transform your body. And one of the things here that you learn is how to develop the unbeatable discipline by not using discipline, but by using reverence. And when you talk about discipline, it's usually that thing that you force your body to do something that you don't want. So I really needed to kind of give up the bread and eat the salad because, you know, that's what is good for my body, and you need to push to use that strength for that, or to go to the gym when you don't want. And that works for the short term, but it doesn't last forever. But then if you reverse the way that you use your mind and ditch discipline and bring reverence to your body, you see that this pattern changes. So reverence, discipline usually happens when you look at a body, there's something that you don't like, that is a problem that needs to be fixed. But what if you look at your body as the miracle of nature that it really is? You know, once I was talking to one of the clients of mine, and he's called Roman. So I'm Ronan, he's Roman. And he was from the UK. And he was trying to work on cooking his own meals because he ate out all the time, and that didn't work for him because of the ingredients that you get when you eat out all the time. But he said, you know, Ronan, I don't cook, man. That is just not something that I do, and you know, something that I don't want to develop. And then we started talking. Imagine that, forget about that. Forget about cooking, you know, to bring a better food for your body. Think about your great-grandparents that are coming to visit you in 3 months. And they know that you are not the kitchen person. But now imagine that you start getting a cooking class today and you let your great-grandparents know, guys, when you arrive in 3 months, I'm going to prepare a meal to you myself. I'm going to learn in my free time how to prepare something that will blow your mind. I'll prepare this with a lot of love. When you come, I'll buy things in the market, in the organic market myself. I prepare, and the first meal I'll serve you because you're honorable guests. And this is what I do to honorable guests that come to visit my house. And he said, yeah, that's an amazing idea. I will do that. You know, I will not think twice. And then the conversation went in, what if this honorable guest that comes in 3 months is not your great-grandparent, but is the best version of yourself, a best version of your body that is being welcomed by you, developing the reverence of embracing this honorable guest that happens to be the best version of yourself. Take that journey of developing the skill of cooking from that perspective. And as he programmed that belief and that behavior in his mind, he became, you know, he doesn't eat out anymore. He doesn't order food anymore because he developed the joy of cooking for his body, for the best version of himself that is his honorable guest. So this is the idea, one of the ideas, one of the ways that you use your mind to drive behavior by the power that he has by bypassing resistance. Lastly, external environment. And about external environment, I think about everyone agrees that your environment is stronger than your discipline. It doesn't matter how much discipline you have, if your environment doesn't allow you to move or has the candies and the cookies in front of your eyes all the time, at some point you give up. And so when we talk about external environment, we are talking about the extension of our bodies. It's not only the display and displacement of things, but also the resources and the quality of the air, the quality of the water, how much sunlight, how much sync with nature that you have, you know, seasonal food or circadian rhythm. But today I want to speak to a different part of the environment that is your social environment. My last story to you today is this. This is the group of people called the people from Roseto. They lived in the US, in Pennsylvania. And in the 60s, there was a cardiologist in the US that found out that these immigrants from Italy, they had half of the cardiovascular diseases that the rest of the country had. Half. Cardiovascular diseases from that time was the thing that was the #1 killer of human beings. So this was a big deal. So this guy got a team of scientists and went to visit these immigrants from Italy, from Roseto, to find out they must eat something there that makes their heart so strong. So they want to see what these guys were eating. And they realized that they were Italian immigrants. They were having pasta and lasagna and pastry and all the, and croissant, all these things that were like quote unquote unhealthy. They figure out, okay, so their heart health is not about what they eat. Maybe it's about their exercise routine. Let's see, let's follow that and see what we learn. They realized that none of these guys exercised. They didn't even have a very active life. They sat around a lot because they're all about, drinking the wine together and whatnot. And then they said probably it's genetics. And so they followed people, the young people who left that community and went to study in New York. And as they went to study in New York, their biomarkers changed, and their likelihood of having cardiovascular disease rose to the average of the country. So once they left, now they got kind of unhealthy. So it's not about their genetics, and they started to prove or to break any of the hypotheses and try to find out what it was. There was only one thing that remained, that stood strong. The only reason that they found out why these people were so healthy was their sense of community, their connection with other human beings. Guys, the social environment in the whole health aspect is the trump card. If your body belongs to a community that you are emotionally very closely connected to others, it creates much more resilience and space that allows your habits not to be pristine and super healthy, because the body thrives in a space of human connection. There's this TED Talk by Susan Pilker that study the reason why people stay alive for very long. And if you go from the bottom of the chart up, you see that people who stay alive for very long is a little bit due to their clean air, a little bit higher. You see people who exercise, they live longer, a little bit higher. If they quit alcohol and they quit smoking, they live much longer. But the two main reasons why people live very long, the two top ones are about human relationships, close relationships and social integration. Close, intimate relationship with at least 3 people that they are there for you and you're there for them. And social integration, that is that thing that there is a little community that you know their names, you know the names of their families, you know what they do. It's probably not a very close friend, but there's the sense of belonging. The human body is designed to thrive in a tribe. It is designed to freak out in isolation, because back in the day, it was a death sentence. And today we see this happening. So here we are, the 5 Holobody pillars. If you integrate all of them, instead of isolating nutrition, isolating exercise, you realize that the human body is a integrated machine. You work in your body as a full human being. In these 5 pillars, you are integrating all these topics here at once. And then you are allowing nature to take the charge and transform your body. So because of that, because of all these stories that we've seen working with us and with other people, we decided to put this together into a program. And the results, the most effective and revolutionary health program that we called Holobody. So now that I give you a brief on the pillars, identity shift. If you learned how to shift your identity so your behaviors can change, how to create body harmony by learning to listen to your body and do the things that your body needs and wants to become, creating automatic behavior. So those things are zero resistant. They just automatically happen for you. Develop your strongest mental power to the point that you can exert the power of your mind over your body to drive physiological functions with your mind. And master your external environment, your physical environment, your sync with nature, and your social environment to create that space that your human body can thrive. If you learned all these 5 things, do you think that this would work for you? Let me know in the chat. Put a yes. If you say, hey, if I learn these things, if I learn to put these 5 things together, I think this would work for me. Say yes, yes, it already is. Some people are already doing that. I can see how many people is getting the insight that now we have a model that works with the human body as one thing, as a system. And so to go over the next step of this conversation, to tell about how this can work for you, let me invite on the stage the man that's transforming the system into something that people can do this for themselves and for the loved ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the stage, Mr. Ajit Mawalka. Ajit.
Thank you, Ronan, so much for this amazing presentation and a great reminder that all of us can create this beautiful life for ourselves if we just followed the research that you've done, if we just followed some of the practices that you've developed and you have been able to train so many people on. If you loved what Ronan presented today, I want to hear a yes so we can give a clap on to what Ronan amazingly presented to all of us today. Isn't that already life transforming? I see hundreds of yeses coming in. Amazing. I love every single time Ronan brings this information to the people, because this information at a point in my life changed my life too. Just about 1.5 years ago, I became a father for the second time. I had my daughter. And as I became a father, in one of my days of meditation, a question occurred to me. And that was, how is it that I want to grow older with my kids? Like when they're 45, 55, let's say they have grandkids, how is it that I want to be? And the question and the answer was beautiful. Like, I'm sure you answered that question beautifully for yourself as a parent, as a grandparent. I want to grow older with them where I can do hikes with them. I can go work out with them. I can go to travel with them. I can go for long vacations with them. I really get to enjoy life with them. Isn't that all our dreams, right? As we grow older, we all want to be in this beautiful, vibrant state. I'm seeing all the yeses come in. And that's exactly what my answer was. And then I recognized that right now, when I was about 1.5 years ago, at that point of time in my life, I was at a place where if I had to keep up with my 1-year-old child or 2-year-old child, I wasn't able to keep up. This was with my son who was 2 years at the time. And I realized, well, if at 36, 37, I'm not able to keep up with these kids, how do I imagine myself 40 years from now to be able to keep up with my grandkids? How do I expect to keep up with my children at that time if, let's say, they were also really healthy, like I hope they would be? And that's where Holobody came into my life. In the last 1 year, if you've followed my work, you've seen that I have changed dramatically. You saw Vishen's transformation was 7 years, and last 18 months have been massive transformation for me, not just in the way I look, but in the way I feel. And that's what matters, right? In our health and well-being, it's not just about how we look, but how we feel, how we operate in the world, how congruent we are, how cognitively available we are, how present we are in our conversations, and how much we can play with what is this beauty called life. For the ones who don't know who I am, a quick introduction. My name is Ajit. I'm one of the founders of EverCoach at Mindvalley, and also one of the collaborators in creating the Holobody certification and many of the certifications here at Mindvalley. And today, I have the beautiful opportunity to show you why this may be something that would be amazing for you, like it was for me, like it was for Vishen, like it has been for so many of our students. So if you will give me like 15 minutes, I want to really quickly present this idea to you that we've been working so hard on, that we think will completely change the way you live your life. You see, when you do the Holobody certification, you have 3 levels of change that I think all of you would want in your life. First change is the change that we really stand for. You are already probably in some version or some path of this where you want to transform yourself. You're here because you recognize that you need a little bit more. You may be carrying that extra weight or that less body love that you really need, or you may be not able to figure out your nutritional balance. There's something that has called you to join this training, to join this webinar. And so this is where you're seeking to transform yourself. You may be at a stage where you have an elderly parent, like Vishen talked about his father, or Ronan's father, who today he didn't get to share the beautiful story of, but it could be somebody who's somebody that you love and you really would love to support. You would love to really help transform their lives. Maybe there is somebody in your life like that, and you would want that. Or maybe you are a coach, you're a life coach or a business coach, or you're somebody who's seeking a career in transforming people's lives because you've been so inspired by Mindvalley. You've been so inspired by the world around us that you're like, I can help this change. I can support this transformation. I want to be a contributor in this transformation that the world is experiencing. And so maybe you want to start an alternate career, a parallel career, or a completely new career in changing people's lives. Well, if you are in any one of these three categories, this is the perfect program for you because Holobody, or Certified Holobody Coach, as we call it by Mindvalley, is the program that transforms you. It transforms your loved ones, and it absolutely gives you the permission, the ability, the training to be able to transform your client's life and be able to start a new career or grow an existing coaching career. This is where we're bringing a premier leading health certification, well-being certification called Certified Mindvalley Holobody Coach. You get the certificate from Mindvalley as a Holobody Coach, which is a unique model of coaching for well-being of an individual. Now, traditionally, like you already heard, usually when somebody talks about health coaching or well-being, they talk about nutrition and exercise. We know now from Ronan's presentation that it involves so many more things, involves so many more areas that a person needs to work on, think about, consider, and change into if they want to truly have holistic well-being, where they're not just chasing this great idea without really understanding where their body is at or what their body wants to be, what their health wants to be, what their well-being wants to be. And that includes many sub-elements. This is what Ronan demonstrated and showed you. And this is actually the curriculum of Holobody. I know it feels like a lot, but as you've seen, Ronan is a master trainer. So is Vishen, who's going to be a second trainer on this program. And fortunately, I get to join these amazing individuals to be your third trainer, where I'll be guiding you through how to really coach yourself or coach anyone in any circumstance in their life by training you on the fundamentals of coaching. Right. So there are many different elements. I want to highlight a few of these things. You've heard a lot about them, but some of them you may not have heard enough about. I want to talk about imagery therapy. Imagery therapy comes from Silva method, which Vishen trains you in, so you can use that imagery therapy to heal your body. Vishen may end up towards later in this presentation share some stories about imagery therapy. Vishen, do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, I can do that. I can give an idea. So a big part of what you learn in Holobody is how to apply the mind as a tool to aid healing of the body. Imagery therapy is a term coined by Dr. Okal Simonton, and he based it on Jose Silva's pioneering work. So if you guys have studied systems like the Silva method or Silva Ultramind, all of these stem from the work of Jose Silva. It's basically the science of being able to take your mind through a relaxation process into what is called the alpha level of mind. Alpha is a slowdown of your brainwave frequency. When you're at the alpha level of mind, you're able to directly talk to the subconscious. And then using specific mental tools, you are able to command your subconscious to heal. There is profound evidence for just how far you can go with this. We've had Silva students of ours, reverse eyesight, reverse aging eyesight, heal their skin. My whole career in Mindvalley got started because when I was 17 years old, I had a profound healing experience with Silva. I had 5 years of serious skin disease that actually caused me to feel like a social pariah. I didn't go out. I didn't really have friends. I felt ugly. And I healed that in 5 weeks, 3 times a day, 3 minutes each, using this specific modality created by Jose Silva. It's been tested on a wide variety of different ailments. It doesn't always work for everyone because there's a large component in healing that has to do with beliefs, with shadows. So if you don't heal that core belief, that illness may still persist. But if you're able to heal the belief, and then you're able to create a massive healing. So you learn to apply this on yourself, but then you also learn, you get a license to actually teach this to your coaching clients. So now, let's say you're a fitness coach, right? If you're a fitness coach already, you absolutely want to do Holobody because you're going to learn how to go beyond just exercise to transform health. For example, you would then be able to apply Holobody methodologies, including Silva, on your client. If your client is trying to train for a sport, you can teach them imagery therapy to actually increase their endurance, increase their muscular strength. There's already evidence that shows that visualizing your muscles growing actually help your muscles grow. There's evidence that show that visualizing your sporting performance will improve your sporting performance. So it's a no-brainer, and you get licensed to apply this. And the license is coming directly with our partnership with the Silva Method, because Mindvalley now runs the biggest chunk of the Silva Method business. So you're getting specific license to apply this. So the cool thing is this, right? You are, when you go through Holobody, most people, as I said, go through it because they go through a 3-month health transformation. Now, it's about 2 to 3 hours a week. You are committing to that, but 2 to 3 hours a week is very, very, very easy to set aside for this type of change. It's 12 weeks, because in the first 2 weeks itself, you start seeing shifts in your health. And those shifts mean that you're doing more in less time. Your cognition is up, your energy levels are up. By week 3, you're probably already getting more done in less time, and you've now bought back those 2 hours just because of greater productivity. I mean this because science has shown, and I've experienced this, that for every little bit of body fat you lose, your brain cognition goes up, which means you're thinking clearer. You're better able to go in flow states. Dr. Daniel Amen proved these in studies done in 2020. And then as you learn all of these other tools, your productivity massively increases, because productivity is partially the function of how powerful our bodies are. And when your body is operating well, your mind, your brain, your focus, your thinking, your creativity, your ability to access flow states, your energy level, your happiness, all of that shifts. So this is why strongly recommend this, whether you already have a nutrition background or you have a fitness background, or you just want to go through a massive 3-month transformation. This is really crucial stuff. And I put a lot of the best stuff I've discovered in this program with Ronan. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Vishen, for introducing that particular idea. That particular idea is extremely powerful. That particular idea itself could change the way you operate, change the way your health kind of shows up in your physical space and your mental space and so forth. So we covered a lot of these elements. Now you had a good chance to really glance through everything that gets covered in the program in just a matter of 4 months. And it may seem it's like a lot, but we've designed this program in a way that the students of this program say for themselves that during the course of this program, they experience change for themselves, and they rate this program as one of our highest rated certifications that we deliver. And our certifications are already very high rated. They all get a net promoter score of over 80. This program in particular has a net promoter score of 85, which means people highly, highly recommend it to themselves and to their friends, which shows how even while covering so many variant topics, the program is simple enough to capture and be able to implement it in their own lives. So this is, of course, all research by science. You already heard about that. You know that these are individuals who are experts in teaching this, and there are tons of results that prove it. So first of all, what is it that you want to imagine yourself getting as you do this certification? The first thing that you must expect for yourself is creating rapid and permanent body transformation. These are some of the things that will complete the way you will operate through automatic habits like Ronan talked about, or by elimination diet that Ronan will show you how to do, or by building in simple habits like walking or better workouts or Qigong routines. You would find that your body will see permanent and rapid transformations, because you will really find what your body wants. If you're a truck or a race car, you'll finally find that. So these changes are likely to be permanent. You will also rewire your human body for lifelong health and fitness. This is what Vishen just talked about, your mind being completely transformed as you go through the program. You will be able to heal your body and reverse aging. Recently, as I was talking about my 18-month journey, I was able to do a test which talks about methylation level of your blood cells, which tells you what's your internal body age. Now, my biological age is 37. But this test told that my internal age is 27. Now, a lot of that I credit to Holobody and the things that I learned in Holobody during the course of this program and before even the course of this program, as I was just learning about the entire thing. So a lot of it is possible really, really for you pretty quickly. And we are we're kind of signs of that. I mean, if you look at Vishen, you can see and you can feel that his energy is younger as well because he's reversing aging. You will find optimized weight and metabolism. Ronan showed you athletes who are top performing athletes look different. Different weights and different metabolism level is defined by different kind of body that you are. You'll find that during this program. You'll find yourself awakened to peak productivity and personal power. This is all something that you will hear in stories that you will hear shortly that are of people who have taken this program. Now, we already know that you will be able to make your investment back pretty easily during the course of you taking the program. There are one of two ways that you may find that. First is that you will take the career of coaching. You would actually start coaching. You would go, hey, listen, I want to do part-time coaching or full-time coaching, or I'm already a coach. I'll add this into my coaching programs. And if you do that, an average well-being coach, not a Holobody coach, which is a little bit or significantly better than an average well-being coach, an average well-being coach makes about $2,000 per client over 3 months. If you get 2 clients, you make $4,000. Now you've made way more than what you would actually invest in this program. So you just need 2 clients and very basic well-being coach payments for you to be able to return your money. It's that easy. So you will be able to do that within the scope of 4 months or right after the program is over if you choose this as a career path. But what you will find is because the changes that you will experience in yourself, because of your cognitive ability, because of your confidence, because of having just more energy, you'll find that your performance is going to go up. And whatever and wherever level you're performing at, you'll be performing 2 to 10 times more. And if that happens, just imagine what your income will also rise to because of your capabilities that have increased by 2 times or 10 times. That would be powerful. And that is how you could immediately return while being in the program by creating personal change or using this method to be able to go out and change other people's lives. And this is not just me saying, here are real case studies. This is Andrea. She talks about within just a few months, Holobody helped me lose 15 pounds, just in a matter of a few months. And she's somebody who's in her 40s right now. This is Audrey. She talks about it will offer you what you really need, a brand new relationship with yourself and a promising insight to who you can become. How many of us crave that? Isn't it? We want a new relationship with ourselves. We want to really finally have that amazing relationship with ourselves. So we finally stop sabotaging ourselves. If you feel it, say yes in the comment section. So we know that you feel this change also for yourself, that you want this change for yourself. This is Simone. She talks about this quest gave me great tools, which her clients love. So if you are a coach, Simone is actually an athlete and she coaches one of the top trainers in Estonia. And she was able to use the tools in Holobody and be able to even further expand her coaching enterprise. This is Darcy, who says you can integrate it with whatever you already know. She was able to do that for her coaching program. So if you're a coach, you're a trainer, you're a facilitator, you can take this training and start integrating it into your existing facilitation training, into your existing coaching training. This is unreal change that you see in Veronica. She's demonstrating it through pictures. If you can see, it's an unreal physical transformation, a matter of 4 months while she was doing this program. This is another of our clients, and she says she lost 15 pounds. This is, again, another of our students that talks about how amazing this class has been. This is all available to you right now for the next few days under the Certified Mindvalley Holobody Coach. Now, my team at this point will start posting links where you can start your process of engaging in dialogue and engaging with us and joining Certified Holobody Coach by making a small deposit that allows you to get an application to actually join the program. So if you are already ready, you're like, I'm sold, this is amazing, I want to just go for it, you can go for it. I'll tell you a little bit more about the programs while you do that. Firstly, I want to inform you of what you may already have heard about, which is the Mindvalley Vision. The Mindvalley Vision is to impact 1 billion lives. And Vishen, if you're still here, I would love for you to talk to this for about a minute or so people can hear it from you on how this particular program adds to the Mindvalley vision.
Absolutely, Ajit. Happy to do so. So one of the things that we are seeking to do as Mindvalley is basically touch 1 billion lives. Now, we do this, of course, through the Mindvalley platform, through continuously bringing in the best teachers, growing our platform. But the fact of the matter is we're only at about 20 million right now. 20 million is the number of followers, 20 million is the number of people who actively follow Mindvalley around the world. And of this 20 million, we have 150,000 paying students who are in Mindvalley membership. Now, 20 million is a far cry from 1 billion, right? 1 billion is not easy. But really what we have is a goal that goes all the way up to 2049. That's the end date. If we believe we can touch 1 billion lives by 2049, that's going to be 5% of the world population. Neil Donald Walsh has a theory that if you want to spark change in humanity, you don't have to hit all 90%. You just have to activate 5% of the world population for that change to ripple through, for a more conscious, a kinder, a peaceful, a more spiritually elevated world. Now, our strategy to get there is to make the students on Mindvalley also become teachers. This is why we're so excited about coaching facilitation. We want to certify coaches because while we know we can touch more people through the multiplier effect. If every coach can touch 1,000 lives, then this very rapidly allows us to make a bigger impact together as a team. So this is a way of multiplying the reach of Mindvalley by making our students into teachers. Not only are we creating coaching certifications like Holobody, but in the back end, we're really building technologies that will make Mindvalley coaching certifications the most advanced coaching certifications on the planet. And the reason is because a lot of the tech we're building for Mindvalley is going to be now powering our coaches. Our Mindvalley Media Library, our Mindvalley AI, our Mindvalley app, which has millions of users. All of that slowly are going to be integrated with the coaching certification that you're seeing. So soon, coaches will have access to tools to work with clients, AI-powered tools to help recommend the right methodology, the right solution to pass to a client, tools to find the right coaches in your vicinity based on AI profiling of your personality type and a coach's personality type. All of this is coming in. We don't just leave you hanging. I hope that helps, Ajit.
Yes, that was beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing the mission of Mindvalley and why this is so important to us to bring to you, and why we want you as our partners, we want you as our collaborators to be creating this change in the world because the world needs it. If you are in any awareness in the world right now, we all can use a little bit of healing, and this may be the path for all of us to join in and do our little bit to be able to help the world. Again, in 16 weeks, you will become a holistic well-being trainer. You will become a confident professional. You will be able to finish a certification with expert level experience under your belt. You'll not only be learning passively in this program, you will actively be engaging in this program. You will be doing this 4 months of learning directly with Ronan, Vishen, and me, depending on what you are studying at the time. For all of the mind stuff, it's Vishen. For all of the Holobody elements that Ronan talked about today, will be Ronan. And all of the training around how to actually coach someone will be delivered by me. Now, this program is accredited by EMCC, which is the European Mentoring and Coaching Council, if that was a question in your mind. Here is how this works. Every single week, you're going to get a weekly training. There's going to be 60 to 90 minutes long. This is passive learning. This is where you log into the membership. You make sure you watch a weekly training. Then you have an opportunity to come to a weekly live call with Ronan, Vishen, or me, where we will actively work with you and give answers to any questions that may be stopping you to be able to really grasp the power of what you just learned. Then you will be going into real life experiences. You will actually be going into coaching labs. You will have about 2 to 3 coaching labs happening in different time zones. So it's taken care of all different time zones, but you can go and practice what you learn. So you just don't learn things theoretically, you actually are able to practice it. You're actually able to see if you understood and if you could actually help someone when you are in that journey with them. You will also be taking periodical assessments that gives us a gauge of you understood what you just learned, and you're able to really answer some fundamental questions so we know that you've really created that progress that you signed up for. Total training time that you're really looking at is about 3 hours a week. This is, again, in your most of it is flexible because you can do it in your own time, and some of it is related to your pods where you go and practice your coach training, right? You can do all this from home. There's no travel required. This is all run virtually, so you don't have to worry about taking a flight, going to a location and doing this. You do it all online, the comfort of your home. But that is not all. We are also, like Vishen alluded to, building one of the world's most advanced coaching certification platform. We are building a technology that will allow you to be able to really engage with your clients and be able to suggest them different quests, different videos, different programs that people should take to enhance their experience even further. You'll be able to engage with them on a Mindvalley platform, which allows for you to really play beyond just having a coaching conversation, something that happens between sessions. You'll also be able to profile yourself on the Mindvalley coaching platform. where you will be listed as a Mindvalley coach post your certification. And so you will also have the opportunity to hire people that are in the Mindvalley ecosystem that may be looking for a coach to be able to work with you. So it also simplifies, if you wanted to choose coaching as a career, for you to be able to get clients fairly easily, because like Vishen said, we engage with about 20 million people on a daily basis already, who more often than not are looking for a transformation and very often looking for a coach to help them have that transformation. We're building a technology that suggests clients to work with you and suggests you to work with certain clients based on our matching technology. Also, in future time, we're introducing the quantified self, where you will be able to measure different well-being measurements of your clients and be able to work with them based on those quantified selves. Now, here's a special thing, Vishen alluded to this a little bit when we started this presentation, is that we are organizing very special events for our certified coaches. We just did an event for about 600 coaches from our last few batches coming down to Tallinn, Estonia, and we had a ball of a time. It was the most beautiful events where people were able to meet people that they had learned with in a physical space. Vishen, I see.
May I jump in here? So I want to actually show you guys some of the things that happen. So what you're seeing over here is the mass photo library that we just sent out to all the people who attended the coaching event. So when you become a Mindvalley certified coach, you are part of a really, really, really cool community. And we gather at events around the world. So this was one of the events. It was called the Super Coach Festival. You can see the wonderful coaches from all around the world. We have coaches right now in 90 different countries. And these are just amazing individuals. Many of them are people who had their lives transformed by Mindvalley. And now they want to go further in their own transformation. And at the same time, they also want to apply these skills to transform other people. And so this community is growing, the Mindvalley coaching community. And it's just like a really wonderful group of people from all around the world. Now, you can read some of their stories by going to stories.mindvalley.com. So this is our stories engine. We have close to 17,000 case studies there. But if you want to see case studies and stories from our Holobody batch of the first batch of people who went through the program, just click on this one, click on programs and type in HOLO, then choose Certified Holobody Coach. And you'll see we have about 173 case studies from people who took this program. You can see these are your peers. These are people you're going to meet at events around the world. And these are really amazing people. Like take this person over here, Saskia. She's actually an Olympian who represented Estonia in the Olympics. Many of these people are highly accomplished individuals, but they want to go further with what they do. So they choose to become Mindvalley certified. Feel free to browse this. I think you're going to really love the stories that you're seeing and the transformations that people are going through. Back to you, Ajit.
Ajit, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you very much. At this point, I'm sure you're like curious, like, hey, I want to know the details. I want to know how I can apply, what are the total price of the program, and so on and so forth. So one last bonus I want to mention for the individuals that would want to pursue this as a career. You see, once you do your certification, there may be a chance where you're like, hey, I want to make this a full-time career, or a part-time career. We give you the tools for that. So we just give you the bonuses that will allow you to start your coaching business in 3 weeks or grow your coaching business in 5 weeks. You'll get these quests absolutely for free when you finish your certification. So here is all that you get. So let me give you a brief lowdown. You complete 4-month coaching certificate. Oh, sorry, this slide is wrong. I apologize for this. But basically everything that you get, most of it is correct except the title of business coach certification. This is actually Holobody certification. And total that you get out of all of these different things, which is the technology that you get to come to live classrooms, interactive peer coaching sessions, you get to come to Mindvalley's coaching live event, Super Coach Experience, and so on and so forth. The total value of that, anything like this, would be about $40,000. Now, of course, we're Mindvalley. We're not going to do that to you. We're going to make this offer really, really powerful for you, which is why the price for all of this that you just heard, including the technology, including the live classroom setting, including the peer coaching, including the certificate from Mindvalley saying you're a certified Holobody coach, including your positioning on the Mindvalley website as one of our coaches, including a free ticket to Super Coach Experience, is only $2,499. Only $2,499. Now, this is a bargain. This is a huge bargain for anything like this in the marketplace. And all right now you have to do is decide to apply. And to apply, you need to put a deposit of $200. Now, this is a completely refundable deposit. The reason we want you to do the deposit is because we want to know that you're interested and we want you to apply. The reason why we want you to apply is because a lot of people want to get into this program, but sometimes their intentions are incorrect. And so we want to just check in. We're going to check in why you're trying to do this program and what are you going to do as an outcome of this program. And that's what this is not a, we're not trying to put you through some crazy grilling process here. It's just for us to know who you are and to make sure that you are the right person for the program. You can also take payment plans. Payment plans is $349 a month for 7 months. The program is only 4 months, but the payment plan is actually longer than that. So you have an opportunity to really make your payment slowly. Once you have deposited $200, the balance, if you do one-time payment, would be $2299 because it's $2499 in total. You've already done the $200 deposit. $2299 is what your balance left with. Very simple. Make a small refundable $200 deposit, completely refundable. Receive and fill out the application. You will get approved, or you'll be told otherwise in the next 48 hours. Remember, we have hundreds of applicants coming in every single day. You then are given the option if you want to do a payment plan or you want to do a one pay, then you pay the rest of the tuition, and the training starts on August 15th. Sorry, this date is wrong as well. As you know, you will experience tons of amazing transformations that are going to happen for you. These are real students. I think Vishen, you started sharing the screen, or I started sharing the screen. I might have accidentally clicked, but all I was saying was these are real students that you were seeing on my screen that are your students, that are your colleagues, the people who have taken the Holobody program, and this could be your story. And like I said, if you want to really review any of these stories, like Vishen said, you can go to stories.mindvalley.com. And at this point, I want to invite Ronan as well to join us on this place. And what we would like to take is a couple of questions that may have come in around what the certification is for, if there's anything that you're looking for, in particularly to get clarified. I'm going to ask my team to send us the qualified questions that they may have identified already through the channel of, I think we are getting them on our phone, if I'm not wrong, team.
Hi guys, you can see the questions right here in the Q&A box. Okay, Bianca, maybe you could come on and help us help select the questions.
Hello, for sure. We've been looking at the questions, but we have some other questions on the side. And just to read the first one, how is it different from other health coaching programs? What exactly are you teaching? Is it diet and nutrition?
I think that question was beautifully answered by Ronan with the whole slide that also I have a minute to explain. This program
I have this ready.
Program. Yeah, go for it.
I saw this question was coming and said, let me get the slide ready here, because this is very, very useful. So this is very different than a coaching program that teaches you diet and exercise. Somebody was saying, how is that different from 10X, Wild Fit, Beyond Fasting? Is it a combination of all these things? And the answer is much beyond this. So what you see on the screen right here is what we learn and go through in these 4 months. So there is one topic here that happens in the first 4 weeks that is not on the screen, that is coaching. So in the first 4 weeks, when you join Holobody, you're going to work straight with Ajit to learn first how to become a fantastic coach. You know, whether you are coaching yourself or you are supporting your loved ones later, or you actually, you know, building a career, or maybe there already as a coach, how to become the most fabulous coach you can become and also drive transformation for yourself. That's the first 4 weeks of Holobody. Then we go into the Holobody aspects of the training. And we will start here on the top left, on the psychology part. And the first week of Holobody is all about the identity shifting process. So that body relationship journey that we talked about today and other exercises like the body talk. And we're going through identifying what are the subconscious beliefs that determine the way that your body is right now. And then from there, change your body image and work with different techniques, something like an NLP, for example, to shift your beliefs and shift your identity. So this is the beginning. And I want to highlight a couple of the topics that you can see here on the screen. So for example, when we go into physiology, one of the key things that we will address is gut microbiome, because this is perhaps the part of the root of a body that thrives in its most vital form. Is to make sure that your gut microbiome is healthy and that you know how it works in your own specific body. Because if you and I eat a sweet potato, we're going to have different responses because our gut microbiomes are different. So this is one, and also see there the female and male hormones. So there are weeks of Holobody that we go into personalizing all the routines that we have been learning so far, whether you are a man or a woman, or whether you are a young adult or a senior, because your hormones change based on that. And the more, if we apply the same exercise protocol, the same sleep routine, it may play out different depending on the levels of hormones that we have, especially sex hormones, the estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So eventually you learn, okay, this is a broad spectrum of morning routines or raising your energy. What does that mean if I am a woman of my 30s, or am a woman of my 60s, or a guy of my 55? So you learn these things too. Then on physical and mental well-being, we go into one energy level. How important it is to wake up and feel like you're freaking best. Not only the way that how much weight your body can lift, but what is the energy that you have for you to have motivations to pursue your dreams. So how you raise those things, and we use things like qigong, for example, breath work for that. But also sleep, that is a key aspect of well-being and longevity that is often just put aside in mainstream fitness programs. And inner stillness. Inner stillness is the term that we use to represent what people mean by stress management. But the problem with stress management is that you're always sticking to the stress, right? You say, oh, I have stress and I'll manage that. And inner stillness is the opposite, is the ability of your central nervous system, the resilience of our central nervous system, to at some point completely dissipate stress. So stress, may be not a no thing eventually. Then we go into environment as well. And when we're talking about environment, there are different things there. We talked about the social environment today. There's also your home and office environment that talks about the placement of foods or the usage of plastic and endocrine disruptors, for example. There is also your sleep environment, how you turn your bed into something that gives you quality sleep, but also your connection with patterns of nature, how you connect at the right times in the right quantity with the grounding of the earth, with the light of the sun, or with seasonal food, for example. We have a part of Holobody that is bringing all these things into habits and routines. So okay, I'm learning a lot of things. I'm following Ronan's guidance on these things. What if I'm on my own after these 3 months? How do I build my own daily habits and my daily rituals out of this? So you learn the science and how to transform behaviors. Then mind over body. There's a lot of mind over body that we learn from Vishen. That includes imagery therapy and all the Silva Ultramind system. You learn techniques for mind-body healing and how to accelerate whatever process that you are on through the usage of the power of your mind. Then we have lastly the two common pillars that are physical activity and exercise and nutrition. Here you learn what you need to learn, but we are not giving you a protocol. We are not giving you a do things this way. Holobody is about holistic transformation. So it's about finding the principles and identifying what your body needs and what it's trying to become, so that you can apply the principles of eating or exercise to your own specific condition. So here we are using on physical activity, things like micro workouts to keep our activity high and walking, but also functional training and some body weight exercises. And if you do 10X, for example, this is exactly what you plug in a 10X routine. And on food in eating, we don't go straight to say, hey, eat this and don't eat that. That's not the idea. But we're going to when to eat, like intermittent fasting, how to eat, like mindful eating. And we're going to understand the macro and micro nutrients so you can decide on your own what to eat and what not to eat based on your own body. So this is an overview. Over the course of 4 months, we are guiding you being into a seamless system. So you can learn all these things and integrate them. This is what you get when you learn Holobody. You are muted, Ajit.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Ronan, for such a detailed view of the Holobody program. So now you can see that it's nothing like any other program, which is why it's not called Certified Nutritionist Program or a Fitness Program. It's Holobody because it's about total well-being. And I'm sure you as a Mindvalley student can appreciate that because you know how valuable that is. And just one dimension of well-being is not enough. You want to be holistically well-being. So with that, I invite you to take that deposit and go on and apply. One thing that I've been hearing in the questions a little bit is what is it that we are really, what is the investment? And maybe there's an error on our website, which is leading to this confusion. But if you want to take a payment plan, it's $349 a month. And if there is anything wrong that happens, know that we are here available for you to correct any of those mistakes if there is one that happens. So please feel comfortable, just go ahead and apply and we'll send you the correct link. It should be a non-issue, don't worry about it. I know my team's very active in replying, but now at some points I can't actually know what question has been asked, which is relevant to everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and answer the first one that I see, which is after obtaining the certificate, how much can a client pay for a full course? Well, it really depends. But like I mentioned, an average well-being coach, and you would be better off than an average well-being coach because holistic or Holobody coaching is much bigger than an average well-being coach. Would charge about $2,000 for about a 3-month training program or a coaching program with them. You will be able to at least able to charge that. Again, this is a variable thing. So I want to be mindful of saying it because if you are in a country where $2,000 is a lot of money, it may not work. I'm talking about US standard, $2,000 for 3 months is a very reasonable cost for a well-being coach to work with somebody. And that would be what you could be potentially starting at. There is no upper ceiling. And when you're working with someone, it really depends on who you're working with, how you are actually working with them, and so on and so forth. So it really depends on all of those variables. You have the skills to be getting paid a lot more than $2,000 for 3 months, but it will depend on your confidence and your ability to enroll a client. Again, if you have just payment-related questions, the best way to do it is send us an email on support@mindvalley.com. or support@avidcoach.com, and we'll reply to that. I've already replied to this question. I want to not keep repeating myself on the same answer. If somebody wants to just do an individual program and no coaching, here's the thing that you're really getting from a program like this. You see, one of the key things that happens is sometimes, or most of the times, you would recognize that you learn conceptually about something really detailed. And then for some reason or other, you feel like you've dropped that thing that you learned after a few weeks or a few months. And that's where the skill of coaching really comes in. Skill of coaching is a universal skill where you can take any challenge in your life and turn it around to become something that is powerful in your life. If you are finding yourself struggling to keep a habit, you can change your conscious mind to be able to redevelop that habit. You will also learn that in automatic habits, but coaching is a tool to do the same. If you're finding yourself really struggling with your surroundings, you can use coaching to reprogram your conscious mind to not struggle with your surroundings. So if you're struggling with food or bad habits from the past, all of it can be coached through. And that is why the skill of coaching, while it may seem like, oh, it's only a career opportunity, is actually a life skill. It has been found that the greatest leaders do one thing as one of the big markers of them being greatest leaders is their coaches. More than being, people who tell people what to do, they coach their people. They coach their teams, they coach their families, they coach themselves. And that's why the skill of coaching is so very fundamental and paramount for your success as a Holobody coach, not a Holobody coach and the person who practices Holobody, because life will happen. Coaching helps when life happens. Okay.
Ajit, one question here that I think would be great for you to give us some idea. Could you, this is from Anvo. Could you please, actually, other question. Do you guys teach how to market and promote the brand certified Holobody coach?
You absolutely learn the fundamentals of building a coaching business. So what happens is, while you're in the certification program, we focus on skill, which means we'll not talk about how to build a program, how to do a package, all of that stuff. But what we will do is, as you graduate from Holobody, we'll give you our top rated quests on how to start a coaching business and how to grow a coaching business, which means you can take everything that you learned in Holobody and you get these quests as bonus. So that means you can just go ahead and you will just have it for free in your account, and you can use the tools inside Start Your Coaching Business to design your package, get your first few clients, get your business off the ground. And then you can go, all right, I've already grown my business to a certain level. I have my first 5 clients, which is what Start Your Coaching Business is going to help you do. Then you can say, I want to build a full-time career on it. You do our 5-week quest called Grow Your Coaching Business. And that is something that you will then be able to use to further develop your business. And then beyond that, you can seek further programs, but this actually gets you enough to get started and start really well. The program starts on the 15th for the person that just asked this question. Thank you very much, Sherry, for sharing that you love the quest that we put together here at Mindvalley. Thanks for sending thanks at the Q&A. Does this give people annual membership Mindvalley, or is it separate? It's separate. Mindvalley membership is in itself a very great deal. Like, I mean, imagine getting the amount of quests that you get for the price that it comes at. And certifications is a different beast. It's a live engagement. We're talking every week. We're really working with you very deeply, week after week after week after week. The top trainers at Mindvalley here are working with you every single week, from Vishen to Ronan. We are working with you, and that's why it is a different fee, and it needs to be done in a much more intense format, but it is also that much more life transformative for you. Like, I'm not kidding. Just go to stories.mindvalley.com and type Holobody. I give you, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes after this presentation, take that time. You will see any change that you seek right now in your body, change that you seek in your energy levels, in your confidence, in your charisma, in your career. You'll find a story on that. I want to share a story of a particular person that we didn't get a chance to share the video of, but I have a video presentation from him. His name is Kid. I really remember his story because he shared this beautiful story at the Super Coach experience when we were sitting down. And he shared that when he joined Holobody, it was his last hope. He had been suffering from deep depression for 10 years. He was 150 pounds overweight. I could be wrong about the weight, but he was at least 100 pounds overweight. And he felt like nothing's going to work out for him. 10 years of depression, 100 pounds overweight, life was not going in the way he wanted. And he did Holobody. And he came to the Super Coach experience to tell us the story that Holobody was the single reason how he ended a 10-year depression with one of the things that he did inside Holobody. It's an elimination diet that helps you understand and takes you through. And that one thing helped him find out why he was suffering with depression. He was able to lose 100 pounds, and I think he gained 20 pounds of muscle. This is a gentleman, this is a person, a beautiful human who for 10 years was not being able to live his potential. And in 4 months, he found the path. That is fucking amazing. That is why we do what we do. If that is a story that you would like to have, and it doesn't mean that you have to be in 10-year depression, it could be anything. You might be seeking yourself. You might be finding the new version of you. You might be finally finding that harmony with your body. It could be anything. Whatever the outcome that you seek, I think it is possible by changing the way you treat your body, by changing the way you treat your well-being, by really leaning into a Holobody experience for yourself. So that is a transformation that you seek. It's a very simple application form. Go ahead and apply. Again, your investment is completely protected, like any other Mindvalley program. You can refund it for yourself if it is not working out for you. If you feel like the program is not something for you, you can do it by simply going to mindvalley.com/refund, and you can just take care of it by yourself. You know, that's how much we trust our programs. Like I mentioned, this is one of our highest rated certification programs, the NPS score of 85 out of 100. it's more than an iPhone's NPS score. It's very, very high for any online certification program. Most certification programs don't even tell the NPS score because they're that poor. But this one is so good that I'm betting. Of course, I've personally experienced why I'm so passionate about it. Ronan's personally experiences why he's so passionate about it. And we know through stories of Kate and many other that you can read on stories of Mindvalley that you will also be able to see some of that change, hopefully. Cool. I think we have most of the questions covered. Ronan, is it something that is pointing out for you?
Very quick things. One is will this be available past this date? And the answer is we only do this once a year, and we still don't know until how long we're gonna do this. But right now the opportunity to join is just now, and then if you can't join or if you won't join just now, we're gonna open this opportunity only again in a year from now. Another quick one from Hitesh: can I structure the program in small packages and modules? So Hitesh, what I understand that you're saying is, after I go through Holobody, me as a coach, can I break chunks of Holobody and deliver that as my coaching program offerings? And the answer is yes. Not only yes, as we already provide you some templates of packages that you can offer. There are 3 different packages: short-term, medium-term, and long-term work with a coach, that you can already say, hey, me as a Holobody coach, you already have a kind of a kit that I can offer to your potential clients to say, hey, here are 3 ways that we can work on together. Finally, the other one that I see, the duration of the program is 4 months. So how long would it take me to start offering my services as a coach? Ajit, what do you say to this?
So everybody feels comfortable at different levels of their coaching certification. It's very much about your comfort and your willingness to start something that you know you will be rapidly adapting because the program's not complete. So we have found that people start working on engaging with people, engaging in conversations in about a month to onwards, because they feel comfortable enough that they know enough that they can engage in conversations around holistic well-being and around Holobody. So people start engaging in conversations. Now, client engagement, which is a paid presentation, happens at different stages for different people. We see, like, there was an Olympian that was doing Holobody with us last time we did Holobody. They started getting clients in the first month, second month. Simone, who already had clients, was introducing Holobody ideas to her practice. So there is no one path or 1 month I can say, oh, this is the month when it'll strike. Some people take all 4 months to fully grasp everything and then go out in the world. Some people take 4 months to grasp everything, take another 4 months to really engage their whole body into it, and then go out and try to get clients. Some people never want to get clients because they're doing it for themselves and their loved ones. So there is no one average I can give you. It simply is depending on you, on when and how quickly and where is it that you are energetically for you to really get started into actually working with people outside, and how comfortable you feel in that, because you would want to feel comfortable. This is specifically the total well-being that we talk about.
There are some
other questions. Yes, Bianca, please.
Okay, so do you guys teach how to market, promote, and brand a certified Holobody coach? And is the program accredited in the US?
Currently, our accreditation sits with EMCC, which is the European Mentoring and Coaching Council. We are working with organizations to find out what's the best path to do this. Again, remember, what we are doing is we're trying to bring the presence to it that the mold of traditional certification, which usually is it a nutritionist certification or a fitness certification? The traditional sense is very, it's not all encompassing, and that's our struggle. Do we conform to what the world thinks is the standard, or we help the world change the standard? If you know anything about Mindvalley, we always go for the latter. We want the world to kind of adapt and say, hey, there is new stuff that's been found out. We don't have to use the same measures we used 20 years to certify a certification program, right? So we are in that bind. So we are not trying, we are in conversations, but we are not yet accredited. We also don't want to bring something that is subpar to the world. And so our endeavor is that Holobody stands its own ground. And with Mindvalley, testing it with hundreds of students, thousands of students at the same time, we probably are a lot more robust in the philosophy and execution of it than most accredited certification programs. Now, again, with that, if you're really attached to accreditations, the answer is no. And we don't know when we'll get one. But at the same point of time, I do invite you to think about what is the real intent for you to do this. If you want to cause real change, would you rather be abreast of the latest what is happening in the world, or you use the technologies that were 20 years before valid or 10 years before valid and haven't been updated? So it's a personal choice that you can make from there.
All right, there's another question. I'm now 68 years old. Do you think I'm old for this program?
My goodness, absolutely not. This to me is a golden time to do a program like Holobody, because at this time you are in a unique opportunity to learn how to listen to your body, change your lifestyle, to go beyond your 85, beyond your 90 years old in a complete state of health. Now, this is the time that it can work and say, all right, maybe regardless of what choices I had or how much knowledge or awareness of health of my body I had in the past, this is the moment that I can give my body that space to transform in a way that is natural and supposed to be. You know, last year, I remember that we had, I can't count, I can't say this for sure, but I had live calls every single week with all the Holobody coaches that got certified last year. So I would interact with a lot of them. And I saw that probably some 15% of our Holobody coaches last year, probably around that number, were over 60 years old. And after we finished Holobody, I jumped on one-on-one calls with 30 of them to ask for feedback and say, hey, what can we improve and stuff like that. So for a month, I was having one-on-one calls with them. And I remember this lady, Rose. Rose was a priest who then became a ballerina, who then now at 74 years old was becoming a Holobody coach. And Rose was saying, Ronan, I did a lot of different things in my life. You know, I've spent many years at the church as a pastor. And then I started exploring the beauty and physicality of my body as a ballerina. Now, she said, now I want to help people and make money. You know, I'm 74 years old. There's another cycle starting right here, and I'm ready for that. And I was having this one-on-one and helping them get her first clients as a Holobody coach. And that comes to show that, this is a beautiful moment to join a program like that, to experience a transformation yourself and to add value to other people that are going through the same phase of life.
All right, and the last question that I see here, can I offer Holobody techniques for mental health improvement?
Sorry, can you repeat? I couldn't hear.
Can I offer Holobody techniques for mental health improvement?
Yeah, that's why it's a holistic health program. You know, this is when to me, Holobody hits a very nice string, because when you talk about health, a lot of people think about the body. Health is my heart is good, my lungs are good, blood pressure, blood sugar, whatnot, body composition, whatnot. But health is a whole system. I like to say that health is a psychosomatic, semiotic system. So it's about the body, is somato connects the idea of the health. It talks about physical health, but it's also psychological health. It doesn't matter if you are a top athlete, your body is a freaking machine, and you are overstressed or under pressure or feeling anxiety about the lifestyle that brings you. So that needs to be together. But also your social health. The connection with other human beings is part of the system of health, and your semiotic health. Semiotic is Are you doing things that represent your own values? Or are you compromising on your values because you're pursuing a specific health goal? So Holobody goes into these 4 topics. And so all the topics are aimed to balance these 4 types of health. So we don't compromise on physical health we don't compromise on mental health to develop physical health, and not the other way around. In fact, we go where these things intersect. Now, there's a lot of correlation now that we know between your gut microbiome and your mental health. The more disrupted your gut microbiome is, the more you see cases of depression rising, depression and anxiety. And then people change their gut microbiome and heal what's happening in their gut, and they see that their levels of serotonin and oxytocin go back to baseline and their life is brighter again. So we go into this intersection of working in this holistic way of health.
Thank you so much, Ronan. Thank you, everybody that has joined us today on this fantastic conversation. We absolutely loved having this dialogue with you. Love the questions that have come in. Love all the comments of individuals who are sending us private messages that they've already filled in the application form. They're excited, they're pumped, despite of different age, gender, countries that are coming in from. I'm loving all those messages. If you are joining or not joining, but found this useful, found something that you really learned today, give me a yes so we can end this on a high, so we know that we are, I can see all the people talking about how amazing this program was and they cannot wait for it to get started. Thank you for all the yeses. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Ronan, for guiding us, enlightening us, and sharing all that wisdom that you shared with us today. It was beautiful co-hosting this with you. Thank you very much, everyone. And we will see you inside the program on the 15th of August.
Thank you to Ajit. Thank you, everybody. I see you at Holobody.